and this is Miles 13. This video is called People Passing, and it's been about a month I haven't done a video. I thought it was important to do this because a lot of people have passed away in my family, and they've had a lot of impact, and it's sort of shaping me. It's molding me into the person I am. I'm becoming. It's funny because at 28 years old, I'm still defining myself. I'm still figuring out who I am. But because of all these things that have happened, I'm starting to understand things and seeing how short life really is. So in this video, I'm going to talk about 4 people that have affected my life, and definitely think about the people in your life who who have passed away, and what they meant to you, and how you used to hug them, you used to share different memories with them, and now you can't do that anymore. Is there an afterlife? Are we going to see these people ever again? Maybe. I mean, it would be cool to find out, and it's definitely something that I think about all the time, and in my dreams every single night, most nights. So anyway, this is Mikey Miles, and this video is called People Passing. So this is Miles 13, People Passing. First person I wanted to talk about is my mom. And I lost my mother when I was 17 years old. It was 2003, and I was in 11th grade, and I can still remember my mother sitting on my bed wanting to see my High School Musical, Has Succeeded in Business Without Really Trying. She was so excited to see me up on the stage, and she wanted to see me very badly. And she was the only person in my family that actually believed that I could be an actor one day. She was very positive, and she was always in a good spirit. She always had a sense of humor, my mother. And unfortunately, she passed away. She never took good care of herself. She was never in good health. She was always drinking. Every time I would get in her car, she'd always have a Coca-Cola in her car. Always drink soda. I mean, we're not talking a little coffee. We're talking a lot of coffee. I mean, she'd always send me into Dunkin' Donuts, and she was a registered nurse. She loved taking care of other people, but she couldn't take care of herself. So that was really summed it up with my mom. But I underneath all that, I know she loved me very much, and I miss her. I do miss my mom. It's been about 11 years, and I've sort of kind of moved on, but I always think about the times when my mom used to come over on weekends, and I'd walk down the steps, and I'd open the door, and I'd see my mom in sunglasses, and she would give me a big hug and a kiss on the cheek, and yeah, I mean that I miss. That I miss. My mom used to leave. She used to live in New Jersey, and I used to sit in my room and I used to cry. I would cry because I missed her. I didn't want her to leave. I lived with my father. I grew up with my dad and my brother. My sister, older sister, she was in college. She went to the University of Albany, so it was a little different for her. But me and my brother, Andy, we kind of experienced that, the parents separating and having a mother kind of, move 2 hours away. What it could do to, 8 and 10-year-old kids. So that's one person. The second person I wanted to talk about, before I go off on any tangents, is my Grandma Pearl. That's my mom's mom, and the reason I want to bring up her is because she left me a little bit of inheritance money, and my mother actually didn't leave me anything, surprisingly. I don't know. But my grandmother actually left me a little money. Me, my brother, and my sister. I honestly wasn't expecting anything. Not much, but something. And it enabled me not only to come back here to Los Angeles and see maybe the most beautiful girl in the world to me, but to get a car back on the road and to start driving again. That's something I haven't done in like 8 years, and it feels so good. Every single time I get in my car, I know my grandmother's watching. I know she's keeping me safe. My grandmother was very nice. If I told her, "Hey, Grandma, I got this Miata, a little tiny little car," she'd probably say, "Are you crazy, Mike? Is it safe?" But she would always say, "Use it well. Use it well." She was a very nice woman, and she obviously lived. My mother died in her 50s. My grandmother passed away. She was, late 70s or early 80s. So, she was around a while, a few decades. But me and my father went to visit her at the hospital. In the last few weeks, I was home in Middletown, and it was depressing. She was offering me her chocolate. She was going to give me her chocolate milk, and it was very upsetting. She was in pain. I remember I went up to her apartment, and my sister was coming down with my grandmother, and this is maybe a couple weeks, maybe a week or two before she passed away, and she was in pain. I've never seen my grandmother like that. She was hurt. She was in pain, and to see that was, and she'd reach into her wallet. She'd give me $1. Here's $2. I think she gave me $5 that day. But it was very surreal. I kind of knew all right, maybe there's an end to life. Maybe it doesn't go on forever. But I miss my grandmother very much. And if she was around, I would say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You brought me back to the City of Angels. And I'm hoping to do something with it. Hoping to be productive here. Third person I want to talk about. As I hear sirens in the back. All right. Is my Grandpa Jerry. My grandfather was my mother's father. And he was a really cool guy. He was the nicest guy in the world. He would come over, take care of me and my brother. And my mom used to work nights. My father, worked in the World Trade Centers in New York City for many, many years. And my grandfather used to come over, wake me and my brother up, bring us strawberries in the morning, put some sugar on some blueberries, and send us off to school. I used to be sick. He used to play Monopoly, take me over to his condo. We used to play Monopoly. I finally beat him. And he was the nicest guy. We saw Jurassic Park 3 times in the movie theaters. We saw Twister. We saw a million movies together. He was a really special person. Unfortunately, I kind of knew him, at the last part of his life, and but he was always cool. I still remember he bought Titanic for me. I was a little obsessed with the Titanic movie and a little crazy over the real ship. I don't know why, and I still remember the day he bought me the movie, and he was very, very special. He would always do something for someone. He would always help somebody. I still remember his money. He would be a very organized guy. He would always keep his money the ones, the fives, the 20s, the hundreds at the bottom. He'd always a very organized person, very clean. I had a dream with my grandfather. And he was in my dream, he was literally telling me, drawing me a diagram of how he came to me in my dream. And I said, Grandpa, can I come with you? Can I come with you back to wherever you're going? And he said, Mike, you can't. You can't. It's too far. You can't. And that dream, I will never forget that dream. He was literally drawing me a map. I still remember, sitting in some open movie theater or something. I miss him very much. Maybe that's why I'm so clean and organized. The last person I want to talk about, finally, is my cousin Brian. My aunt and uncle gave me something. They gave me this. This thing right here. Ooh. Okay, I'll clean this up for you. This thing. My cousin Brian was a rock climber. He used to rock climb. In Jersey, he moved out to Colorado, he rock climbed, and he used this to, you know, to rock climb. This thing I don't really, I keep this as a souvenir, but this I keep on my keys. I hold this with me every single day, this little thing. And I know it's going to give me good luck in the acting field. I know Brian's out there, man, he's looking down, he's like, Mikey, go exercise, go to the gym. He was a really, he loved the outdoors. He was always doing something. He was very, he was very active. He passed away. He was, you know, in his early 20s, but he was a very nice young man. Unfortunately, I was young, and I didn't really, you know, appreciate it. The last time I saw him, he gave me a very big hug. Huge hug. I still remember that. We were visiting my father's parents down in West Palm Beach, Florida, and he gave me this big hug and said goodbye to me. I'll never forget that. And then we were sleeping in the living room, and I was drooling. There was drool coming out of my mouth. And I'm like, Brian, you know, what do? I don't know how to fix this problem. And he was like, Mike, you know, close your mouth, Mike. Close your mouth. I still remember that. I still remember jumping in the pool with him. He was a good swimmer. Probably why I like going to the pool. And we would throw pennies in the pool and go get the pennies at the bottom. He was a really nice person. Unfortunately, he was rock climbing, and he fell. He fell about 80 feet, and you know, and passed away. So, you know, rock climbing is obviously a very dangerous sport. I probably will never rock climb in my entire life. But I think driving my little convertible is dangerous enough. But, you know, it's unfortunate. I hope he's in a better place. I hope he's looking down and going to be seeing this video I'm doing. And I miss Brian. I used to not see him that often, actually. I used to only see him on like holidays and special occasions, and he would always bring out his little Game Boy, and he was a very nice guy. Yeah, at the time of when he passed away, he had a job, he had a truck, and it kind of just shows you, you know, these are material things, that life is short, and your health is important, you have to be very careful. I do miss Brian. It would be really awesome to give my cousin Brian a call and just to, you know, talk to someone like that. You know, get some advice on girls and this girl I'm chasing. And, yeah, no, he was cool. He was cool. So, anyway, those are the 4 people that have impacted my life. And they are shaping me into the person. Yep, so that was the 4 people that impacted my life, and I honestly believe they have shaped me, or they're shaping me into the person I'm becoming. So that's it. This is Mikey Miles. That was Miles 13, People Passing. Moving on to the next video. Miles 10 went on the back burner for now. But until next time, later.